Yeah.
Yeah, we're lucky, definitely. Okay, so let's just dive right in.
Okay.
Thanks for doing this with me, Betsy.
Hey, that's
So
okay.
tell me a little bit more. What inspired you to start practicing yoga, and how has your practice evolved since then?
With you?
Yeah, or maybe
Practicing.
even before that. You can
Yeah,
start from
because
the
you
beginning.
know, I I I enjoyed yoga, but for me, I always thought it was all about stretching. And as you've said many times, that's not necessarily what it's about. Now I have to, I know I kind of cheat a little and I probably stretch anyway, just because it feels good, but you've made it I'm more in tune with what my body position should be and what is better for me, what's safer, what is nourishing my joints more than just yanking on them.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of what got me started. And then you were recommended by Bing. And, he came to the gym where I was and he said, oh, there's this yoga instructor who teaches at the senior center and she's a little different, were his words. But you might enjoy it. So, that's when I started doing that.
Yeah.
And then one thing led to another.
So would you say your yoga practice has evolved from like more strenuous to maybe more moderate and listening instead of pushing, pulling? Is that kind of
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you addressed things about my uh the way I was going about doing my practice, and improvement and better awareness of what I should and shouldn't do just to make it better.
yeah. So what if you like how has yoga helped you improve your physical health, such as flexibility or strength or balance?
I think probably the flexibility side. um Balance I kind of do in other things. I do attend fitness classes. He's the guy up in Courtney. He's a big thing about balance. So that gets incorporated a lot. I still keep active and doing all sorts of other stuff, but the yoga, um, I think has made a difference to my flexibility for sure.
Where do you notice that? Like, sometimes I pick up on it, like when I have to reach something in the back of my car, I recognize like, wow, if I wasn't so agile, how would people get stuff
Yeah.
that they need? Or like, do you have an example of where you see that kind of agility show up and kind of benefit you in your day to day?
Probably not. To be honest, I notice it in as the progression in my yoga practice.
Yeah.
So there's certain things that you probably have noticed that I can do better than I did a year ago, and that's where I see it.
Yeah, for sure. I do see that for sure,
Yeah,
especially that forward fold.
yeah, yeah.
Um, How has yoga helped you improve your mental health, such as reducing stress or anxiety? Or maybe that's not the part of yoga, as you're saying, isn't the most obvious or important to you, but have you noticed any mental benefit like stress or reduction in anxiety?
No.
You kind of, we're all right in that department anyway.
Well, geez, I don't know. I think we all have to work at it in whatever works for us. Um, I tend to, stress for me, I tend to go for a walk, get
Mhm.
out into the woods, be alone for a bit. That to me is a big, just take it easy and
Yeah.
look around and get some fresh air and yeah.
Yeah. So for you, yoga is that gain in physical maybe connection or yeah, kind of maybe strengthening your awareness of body
Very
and
much.
yeah, and appreciating maybe your strength or flexibility or
Hmm.
your well-being. I mean,
Yeah.
you seem like you're in good shape and that yeah, you don't struggle in the same way that some people do with those physical challenges or limitations.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm lucky that way.
But you put in the time too.
Yeah, for sure.
Can you share a story about a time when you were able to apply the principles of yoga off the mat in your everyday life?
Um, yeah, I think I gave that story once before where I was standing at an airport waiting for our luggage. And, you tend to just kind of, you're tired and your posture and and to be a little more aware of engaging, uh, being more alive in the legs and the torso. And that, that was definitely something that probably came from balance, right? You're standing on one leg and you have to, what you tell us to do, which is to um, be alive all the way up from your feet to your up here. And that's kind of what I did. And it made a difference.
Yeah, because wasn't it like some big line or something like that, and you were starting to notice yourself getting tired, and then you had remembered to like connect in, and then you kind
Yeah.
of felt a relief of that fatigue.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It was just, yeah, my hips were starting to get sore and everything, it's
Yeah,
just, yeah.
that's
I mean,
powerful.
it was physically, you had to really think about it, but that's how it is.
And this question, maybe again, like I think, you came to yoga with already some of these things already developed, like self-awareness and self-acceptance, but has yoga helped you cultivate those things or, get a deeper sense of self-awareness or self-acceptance?
Probably not.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, Not in that way
Okay.
anyway. Yeah.
Can you share a story about a time when you experienced a breakthrough or an aha moment in your yoga practice?
Yeah. Again, I think I must have said it during the Zoom call because this turn off the bossy muscle thing. I really like that because that was stuff that I had to address.
Yep. So what did you experience? You noticed like there were these chronic muscle groups that would be working even when you didn't want them to,
I
and then
think
you
it was it was one when we were doing forward fold and coming back up or something, and it
yeah,
was, instead of using your back, use whatever, or there was something. To be honest, I don't remember what it was,
well,
but I do
my
remember at the
instructions are
time
so
going,
bizarre.
"Wow,
It could have been like ooh 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 ah, right? So
yeah,
yeah,
like yeah, just be mindful of everything that is involved when you come back up, and not just crank yourself up using whatever muscles you used to use. Think
yeah.
about all the others that probably aren't getting used."
Yeah, and I think that we've all kind of experienced that in this way of working is even this ability to move beyond just activation through muscles, right? Like I think what we're starting to access too is like kind of a sense of this vital energy that can move us rather than having to ask our muscles to move us all the time,
Mm-hmm.
which I would say is quite an aha
Yeah.
thing for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So these, I just get the picture. Maybe some of these won't apply. Like, how has yoga helped you overcome limiting beliefs or negative self-talk? Maybe that's not where your yoga practice takes you. So I'll just skip over
Yeah.
those.
Yeah.
Um, hmm. Would you? I mean, you said you go out in nature a lot. I'm just wondering if this would touch anything inside you. Can you share a story about a time when your yoga practice helped you feel more connected when you are out in nature or when you are out in the world around you?
No.
Okay. How about this one? How has that's okay. I love your honesty. How has yoga helped you find greater balance and harmony in your life?
It comes back to the physical thing.
Hmm.
It's I think I'm a little more aware of um, just my physical posture, or how I'm moving, or, in particular my hips, how to be more mindful of how to move about.
Mhm.
Hard
And
to
maybe
put into words.
yeah, and maybe in general, it just yoga makes us more present, right? So we're
Yeah.
more, because we're developing this connection to our body, we tend to, when we are standing in the line at the grocery store or the airport or whatever, we tend to become kind of present to what's happening through the body,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. And I think something I was just thinking about, the one thing that I find has happened for me is with yoga is that it helps it the other stuff that I do, um it 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 now is a combination of those things. So I as I said, I'm still active doing the things I do. I still have certain physio stuff that I address now and then, exercises and stuff, which I know sometimes is not always what you're recommending for certain things, but I try and combine the two.
Hmm.
So I kind of put the two together, and I go, okay, if it's been recommended that I do such and such, but I'll do it from a yoga point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think, yeah, that I hear that a lot from people, that they take the yoga into whatever they're doing, like whether that's golf or even dirt biking. A guy showed up yesterday who rides dirt bikes, and he'll take, I think, what he learned in the class onto his dirt bike,
Yeah.
which seems kind of like, do those things mix? But
Yeah.
yeah, through our yoga practice, we just become more conscious of our alignment or posture, or yeah, which muscles we're using, or,
Yeah.
maybe, imbalances or strain or pain.
Hmm.
I mean, this last question, again, just has more to do with maybe things that do or don't apply, but how has your yoga practice helped you find greater meaning or purpose in your life? Maybe that doesn't apply.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Again, I suppose you could put it into the physical side. It's impacted me more on that level.
Yeah. So do you want to maybe just talk a little bit more about that? Like how do you think yoga has benefited you physically? I mean, I know you already talked about this a little bit, but if
Hmm.
you had to give kind of examples, or like where you might notice it, how does it benefit you? I mean, you keep at it. You've been at it now for like very
I
consistently.
know, I know, and how does it benefit? I think it just is another element of uh, something that is important to me physically.
Yeah.
It's not as important mentally as it may be to others, but to me, it just is another element of how I can move my body, keep my body healthy, um, keep everything moving. Um, and I think it's a combination of all that stuff. It's not just the yoga, and it's not just, it's when you put them all together and then you're mindful.
Yeah.
Yoga helps me being more mindful of how I go about everything else I do.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking, just a final thought. It's interesting because some people, especially in the online yoga, they sign off before final relaxation, but you stay. I mean, everybody has to leave early, but you often do that, at the end of our practice. For people that don't know, we just lay down and we basically just relax. We feel through our body and we feel through our breath. And I would say that would be a moment potentially where you are tapping into some of those more subtle aspects. So could you describe what your experience is in Shavasana, or what you think the benefit of that part of our practice is?
Um, yeah, I think it's, for me, it's sometimes a hard thing to say, or I want to get on with whatever I got to do. And, we're all guilty of that. And so it's a nice moment to just lie there and just give it 5 minutes
Yeah.
and just let everything relax. And I find it very hard to turn my mind off of all the stuff that's going to happen. Even though my day isn't very full, it's still my mind is thinking of things that probably have nothing to do with Shavasana.
Yeah. 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 So it's like this opportunity. I find that too, Betsy. It's like that we begin to recognize, I think, within ourselves how we are always go, go, go. And then Shavasana kind of gives us the opportunity, even if it is just 2 or 3 minutes that we're lying there, to recognize like it's okay if we take a pause. It's okay if we just enjoy a couple breaths. And often, after I get through like the biggest part of that kind of, habit of just go, 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 how good it feels to take a moment to breathe, to take a moment to let go and relax.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's good. I think it's one of those forced, stop what you're doing and just take it easy.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else you wanted to add about, I don't know, your experience with yoga, or what you would say to people that might be contemplating, should I try it? Can I? What if I'm stiff? Or, all the excuses or reasons that people have they think why they can't. What would you say to people who are contemplating, should they start a practice?
For me, I think your type, the way you teach is, and this is what I tell people when I talk about the yoga class that I take and the instructor that I have, is that what is always important to me, and it's important to me in everything I do, is that you do it correctly. You don't compensate or compromise, I should say, your body to try and get to a position. And I think if anybody is thinking of whether this is a new thing or if it's, let's try a new instructor, that's probably one of the biggest positives and compliments I can make about how you do the class for us. And because again, everything I do, if I take on a new sport or if I'm attending a fitness class, the instructor has to, in my eyes, be a stickler for form and function. That's everything. Especially at our age. Hey, when you're 20 and 30, who cares? You can abuse your body and you can pretty much bounce back. But, at this point, no.
Yeah. Yeah, I value that a lot too. And I would say that's something I've learned over my career. And because also just with age, recognizing that people can injure themselves or hurt themselves if they push too hard or do things incorrectly. So that over my career has just become more and more and more and more important to make sure that what we're doing is safe and effective, and that everybody also has a chance to just go at their own speed, right? And not be in a hurry to progress, but rather do things well.
And I think for you, I mean, there's as an instructor, you can only do what you can as far as guiding people. But if somebody wants to push themselves beyond what they are capable of, that's nothing you can do about it.
Well, sometimes I do say, hey, John, down. Hey, Susie, stand back up. Hey, Betsy, or whatever, put your hand on your hip, or, I do my best to get people out of situations that may be compromising them.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Betsy, for talking with me today and sharing all of that.
Okay. Well, I hope it was of help and gives you insight too. I mean, it's good for you to hear it from all of us.
And I appreciate actually just your honesty and which part of the yoga, or how the yoga, which aspects that you value the most? Because I think that's probably true for a lot of people. You know, like some people might really value the balance, some people might really value the strength, some people might really value the flexibility, some people might really value the mental or emotional parts or the relaxation. So I think it's really cool to just recognize we don't all have to be coming at it or going to it for the same reasons.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true. And we are all different, and what we're getting out of it is individual.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you have a phenomenal night. Are you just still
Yes.
chilling out and kind of
Yeah.
recuperating from your?
Yeah, gonna get dinner going soon, and yeah.
I have a
Well,
feeling it might be better than mine.
oh, I don't know.
I'll
Come
let you
on.
know. I'll let you know. But a good burger, do you eat meat? You eat
Oh yeah, yeah.
like a good burger is amazing, but like because I'll eat a burger
Yeah.
if it's amazing, but I don't really want to put a crappy burger in my body. So that's
No.
I'll let you know.
Yeah. Hey, did you ever watch the thing I told you about?
My God, I loved it. I teared up because
Yeah.
that's me. Like that is totally me. I'm like that
Yeah.
grandma and that woman.
Yeah. 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 I'm the same. I'm the roller coaster person, but I think we all tend to, you know, go towards what's safe and comfortable. But hey, life's pretty boring if you do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. And so I think the hardest part for me is that the people around me may or may not
Uh,
want to be on the roller coaster with me, right? Like, come on, we can do this. Let's,
yeah. Yeah.
everybody's like, can we just go around? And I'm like, no,
No.
I don't want to do that.
No. 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 That's right.
So I super
Uh,
appreciated that. Yeah, actually, Danny came in right when I was watching it, and I was like, "Come over here, come watch this." So we both had a giggle.
yeah. Yeah. What's he like?
He's both. He's both. He has the capacity to get on the roller coaster, but I think he, in times or at times for sure, sometimes would prefer to just be going around and around. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know that he has the same capacity for me to do the
Yeah.
roller coaster all the
Yeah.
time. What about Luis?
Yeah. Well, he actually hates roller coasters in general,
Yeah.
but but I don't think he's, I think it's more just he doesn't like heights, and
Yeah.
has nothing to do with not wanting to embrace some cool stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I wouldn't say I'm a thrill seeker. I'm sort of a little more in the middle, but
Yeah.
um, yeah,
Yeah, I'm not an adrenaline junkie or anything in that
yeah,
way. No way, stretch or form. But yeah, I do appreciate an adventure and a challenge and, some,
yeah.
yeah, getting out of the comfort zone. I love that.
Well, there was something I heard. I think you knew I used to compete in masters track, and it was fairly competitive and fairly serious. And I was off to Australia to run and to represent Canada. And a good friend of mine gave me a little note with a bit of Australian money in it, and it said in this little card, do something every day that scares you.
Hmm.
And I know you've probably heard that many times. I think it's a Lululemon phrase, but there's a lot of truth to that. And not that you have to do something every day that freaks you out, but out of your comfort zone now and then. And not only do you achieve something or learn something, but it feels good. It really feels good to say, hey, I kind of, I achieved this, and there's a real rush.
Yeah, and I think it reinforces our confidence because every time we
Yeah,
do something like that, we go, "Oh my God, I did it. I can do it." And
yeah.
then it just gets easier, I think, to do new things, and then you end up having more experiences.
Oh yeah, yeah. You may fail once in a while, but as long as you're um, ready and able to pick yourself up and try something else, it's
That's
that
how
roller
we,
coaster, right?
yep, that's how we
Yeah,
learn, baby.
yeah, yeah. Well, good luck with your burgers or whatever
Thank
you're
you.
having. Maybe they'll
Yeah,
have, vegan burgers and plant-based. Mind you, they're pretty bad if they're not good ones either. So
I know. I
that's
know.
almost worse.
I bought some smoked salmon at the market today at the farmer's market. So if it's terrible, I'll just come home and have a salad with salmon.
There you go.
Oh, thank you again so much. I really, I appreciate it so much. I don't know what this girl's going to do with all this stuff, but I'm just
Oh, well, yeah.
handing it over to her and I trust her.
Yeah. Okay, Jill. Well, good luck. I'll probably
Thanks.
see you Monday.
Awesome. Have a good night and say hi to
Yep,
Louise.
will do.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.